Hello everyone, it's Wolf here. Um, I I have spent a lot of time reading and following what's been happening in our country, and um, I've made my thoughts known on social media, as far as Twitter and YouTube, or Twitter and Facebook, but I don't know, sometimes it just feels like I'm screaming into a void. And so, I figured, why not? Let's try literally screaming. um, Man, what is going on with Donald Trump? I, the White House hasn't even denied that the bounties on American soldiers exist, or existed. They just said they didn't brief Trump on it. That's their narrative. That it astounds me. It astounds me, and I'm absolutely terrified, because if even if the press secretary is telling the truth and Donald Trump wasn't briefed on Russian bounties on American soldiers, then what does that say about the state of our intelligence in other countries? It's aggravating, because he wants to push this narrative that there's this deep state that's capable of incredible invasion of privacy and civil liberties. But then when something like this happens, it's just blamed on the government's incompetence. I saw something today, it was about doublethink. And I feel that, this is probably cliche at this point in history, but there's just no other way to describe it. Donald Trump holds two conflicting sets of beliefs and believes them both. He thinks he's been ordained by God, or at least he pushes that belief, and he's willing to let our soldiers, or he's willing to even just let that kind of intel fall by the wayside. He thinks that him not being briefed is acceptable. And a lot of people might say, "Oh well, it's the deep state withholding information to make him look bad." There's no deep state. Stop saying that. At least not in the sense that Donald Trump talks about it, and not in the sense that a lot of people refer to it. There's no overarching governmental conspiracy to overthrow Donald Trump. If there is, they've been doing a pretty shitty job. If it were true that Donald Trump had not been briefed on this matter, and that he had no idea that there were bounties on American soldiers. Let's just assume that for a second. if that's true, then Donald Trump should take a stand and at the very least walk back his invitation to Putin to the G7 summit. Because that's unacceptable. Donald Trump said during his campaign that he wants better relations with Russia. Well, at what cost? Because apparently our troops are part of that cost. And this isn't even the tip of the iceberg. This is just more of this administration's crappiness manifesting. But the relationship between Donald and Putin, it's concerning. It's concerning because, well, let's just look at another example in recent history. When Russia said, we're moving in, we need you to step aside, and that's what Donald Trump did. Putin is now a kingmaker in the Middle East because of Donald Trump's decisions over there. Putin owns him. That's what this implies. That Putin is the one that's pulling Donald Trump's strings at the end of the day. And he may not pull him in everything. I don't think that Putin is telling him to, tear gas protesters in Lafayette Square. But he does like that. He likes to see that America's leaders are just as bad as they are over there. Because if he can use whataboutism to delegitimize the United States and its ideals, that gives him a pretty powerful platform to stand on. That's a big part of how he's gotten so much power, is through, he's rich and has powerful friends, but he also jails dissenters. Even going as far to assassinate. This is all well documented. We all know this about Putin. And if the President of the United States is tear gassing peaceful protesters in Lafayette Square, he loves that. He loves that because when the fingers start pointing at him, he can say, yeah, well, look at Donald Trump. Look what's happening in America. These problems are everywhere. This isn't my fault. I don't have to take responsibility for this because look at what Donald Trump's doing over in America. This exists everywhere, so you can't blame me. And that's how he wants to maintain power. And Trump is giving him that. Trump is 100% giving them that. And he's not just giving him that anymore, he's giving him pretty much free license to abuse the United States in any way that he feels necessary. Because when you can put bounties on our soldiers' heads and the president won't even come out against that, then one of your greatest competitors is in big fucking trouble. Anyways, something to think about.